Hello everybody and welcome back to Golden Dragon Games. I'm your host, Rocky. Today is episode 10 of my Kamen Rider X8 toy review series. And in today's episode we will be reviewing the DX Tokimeki Crisis Gashat, which allows the character Poppy Pippa Pop. Wait a minute, I just mispronounced her last name incorrectly again. Ugh, I can never actually pronounce her last name correctly, but anyway, it allows the character Poppy to transform into Kamen Rider Poppy. So, before we take a look at the gashat itself, we're going to take a quick look at the packaging first. So, without further ado, let's begin the review video. Okay everyone, I'm back, and like I just said a minute ago, let's take a look at the packaging first. So, as you can see, on the front of the box we have the actual Tokimeki Crisis Gashat itself. Right there. We also have a picture of Kamen Rider Poppy. On this side of the box we have a continuation of the picture of Kamen Rider Poppy. On the back of the box we just have some advertisement for other Kamen Rider X8 toys. We can also just see instructions of how the gashat works on its own, with the gamer driver, and also actually with the buggle driver's Vi, which is what it's sort of meant to be used with, because in the show Poppy does use the buggle driver's Vi with her Tokimeki Crisis Gashat to henshin into Kamen Rider Poppy, rather than using a gamer driver like the other characters. But anyway, we also just have some writing right there. On this side of the box, it just says GD for gamer driver, and of course it says Kamen Rider X8 Tokimeki Crisis Gashat. On the top of the box, we can see another picture of the gashat, the gamer driver, the buggle driver's Vi, which we'll be reviewing in a later episode, and yeah, that's it for the packaging. So, I will just do another jump cut here, and then we'll take a look at the actual gashat itself. So, I will be back in a second. Okay everyone, I am back, and here's the actual DX Tokimeki Crisis Gashat itself. So, first of all, as you can see, the front of the gashat is done in pink, and then also we have the label on the front with the artwork of Poppy herself. I think it's supposed to be Poppy herself, I'm not 100% sure. Also we got sort of a starry colourful background. Also it says Tokimeki Crisis right there, and of course, like with all single gashets, the speakers are here and here. Then on the side of the gashat it says Tokimeki Crisis. And then on the back of the gashat, it's done in this sort of pearl white colour, which isn't normally the colour they use for the back of the gashats. Normally, for, I believe it's most of the gashats, apart from maybe a couple, for the single gashats at least, it's normally done in a matte black, but of course, like I just said, it's done sort of more in a pearl white. But anyway, like all other single gashets, it has the QR code on the back. Also, we have the battery compartment, which already comes with the 3 button cell batteries it needs. So you do not need to supply your own batteries. And then, if we look at this panel on the gashat, you can see just about the picture of Kamen Rider Poppy herself. And now I'm going to be quiet so you can hear the sound effects that this gashat has on its own. Okay, and that is all the sound effects that you get with this gashat on its own. You don't get any game start, game clear, game over sound effects at all. Just those 2 sound effects of, first of all, her sort of standby henshin jingle, and then the second one, you noticed probably, it's almost the same like the instrumental, but the actual voice sounds a bit more sort of deep and evil, and that's mainly because Kamen Rider Poppy was evil at one point. So when she activates her gashat, it would speak with the sort of deeper, more evil voice over, but of course when she was turned back to good, the Tokimeki Crisis gashat would have the sound effect of the more sort of cheery, good Poppy. But anyway, that is the gashat itself on its own. Next, we'll hear the sound effects it has with the gamer driver, and then we'll hear the sound effects it has with the Kimiwaza slot holder. So, I will be back in a second. Okay everyone, I am back, and here is the actual gamer driver itself. So, without further ado, let's listen to the sound effects that the Tokimeki Crisis gashat has to offer with the gamer driver. But before I am quiet, as I always say in all my Kamen Rider X8 and Kamen Rider Build toy reviews, henshin. Okay, and that is the level 1 sound effect for the Tokimeki Crisis gashat. And as you can see, we have the pink LED lit up just right there for a couple of seconds. But also, something else to mention is Kamen Rider Poppy doesn't actually have a level 1 form, or no, she doesn't have a level 1 form, definitely, but she does have the sort of level 2/level 0 form. So I'm not sure why they included the level 1 henshin jingle, but you know, it was still good to actually include in the gashat, otherwise the gashat wouldn't have as much sound effects as all the other DX gashats have. But anyway, I will be quiet again and we'll listen to the level 2 henshin jingle. Okay, and that was the second henshin jingle for Kamen Rider Poppy. And as you can see, there's a picture of Kamen Rider Poppy right there. And of course, again, the LED stayed lit up for a couple of seconds. And that is all the sound effects that the Tokimeki Crisis gashat has with the level 1 slot. So I will be quiet again and we'll listen to the sound effects that it has with the level 2 slot. And that is the second, or rather the third henshin jingle for Kamen Rider Poppy, and also that henshin jingle, I much prefer the henshin jingle we just heard over the second one we heard, and also the henshin jingle we just heard is the same henshin jingle that you get if you use the Tokimeki Crisis gashat with the Buggle Driver's vibe, but also it's the same henshin jingle they actually use in the TV show, or they did use in the TV show, because Kamen Rider X8 finished quite a while back, and Kamen Rider Build, which came straight after, where it is just about to end before airing the latest Kamen Rider series in September, which will be Kamen Rider Zio or Geo. I can never remember how to pronounce the name of that rider, but anyway. That is all the sound effects the Tokimeki Crisis gashat has with the gamer driver, so we will now just jump cut here and then we'll listen to the Kimiwaza critical strike sound effect the Tokimeki Crisis gashat has with the Kimiwaza slot holder. So I will be back in a second. Okay everyone, I am back, and here is the Kimiwaza slot holder itself. So without further ado, let's listen to the final sound effect from the Tokimeki Crisis Gashat. Okay, that wasn't the critical strike sound effect. That was actually alternative sound effect that you can get instead of the critical strike. But I'll just cycle through again and see if we can get the critical strike sound effect this time. It may take a couple of tries, so I may need to do another jump cut in the video just to say. Okay, and that was the critical strike sound effect, plus we got that extra sound effect on the end of the critical strike sound effect where it said, I can't actually remember what it just said, but anyway, so yeah, that is the critical strike sound effect, along with the alternative sound effect that you can get instead of the critical strike, and that's basically all the sound effects for the Tokimeki Crisis Gashat. So, you know what that means, it's time for the end of today's review video. So, I hope you all enjoyed today's review video. Remember, feel free to leave a like, favourite, share, comment. Also, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And remember, until next time, stay golden, stay frosty, and bye-sies!